Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Organic Game, and today is Wednesday, May 1st. Yes. Yeah, I'm coming to you a little bit later here today. Yes, it's raining out again. Wet, wet, wet. Cool and wet. Yeah, so anyways, what am I up to today? Right now, actually, I'm headed into town because you know how sometimes you start a project and you think that it's going to be simpler than what you think it is, and it ends up being a bigger project than what you think. Yeah. Well, anyways, I was trying to fix that electrical cord and for the silo loader. Trying to splice it together, but it isn't working the way I originally wanted. That stuff I bought yesterday, it isn't going to work right. And so I'm gonna go to the other electrical repair shop or motor repair shop where that guy there, I think he has something that will work, and so that's kind of what my hope is here, that he'll have what I need. And if Slowpoke Rodriguez up there hurries up and gets out of my way, I can get to town. Oh, sorry. I'm just kind of in a hurry, I guess. Yeah, so, yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm headed to town. I'm going to go there, see if I get what I need, because I can't, you know, finish the feeding here for the, can't load any of the silage until I get that thing fixed. Maybe I should have never even monkeyed with it today, but I thought it would be easier, and I thought what I had would work. I tried soldering one of the wires the other, but it ain't working because the solder, the solder paste isn't good or too old or what. The solder just is not sticking, and so I gotta get what I need, the right thing, and we'll go from there. So that's where I'm headed into town, see if I can get the right stuff and see what happens. Okay, everybody, I'm back in town, and I got everything I need, I hope. Anyway, I got, you guys can see this, I got one of these things here. I got 3 of them, the splices, so you can either take a hammer or a blunt chisel and put it together. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I got the wires here. I tried soldering it together, but it's just so thick. You can't get it hot enough, and no, it ain't gonna work that way. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna splice these together, and with this thing, and then I'm gonna put some shrink wrap. There's shrink wrap over it. Then I got the big one. I got a big one down here. So I'll heat that up, and so we'll see what happens. Should work. I did price a new cord. It's like $3.50 a foot, so times 50 feet. It comes out to be about $175 for a new cord. Terrible, but more money than I want to spend today anyway. So we're gonna try this. It should work. So I know some people might give me crap for it. Just get a new cord, I know, but maybe someday we'll get a new cord. But for today, I'm just gonna do it this way. Okay, As you saw, I got that thing. Got it all put together. Got the shrink wrap put on here. And yeah, I know maybe somebody will be saying you should use a hair dryer. Well, I don't have a hair dryer, so torch works the best. So it's sealed up. I made sure the ends were nice and sealed so no moisture can get in there. And yeah, so obviously just so everybody could see, we'll try it here. Boom, it goes on just fine. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this cord now, I'm gonna take and roll it up. Normally I do have a thing right here that I actually do roll the cord up and put on a piece of bent round or re-rod here. And I guess, you know, kind of what happened this winter is I guess I got complacent because it was a long cold winter, and I just got lazy about it. I didn't roll that cord up. Normally I do that, but for some reason this winter I just got lazy. So I'm gonna take this cord and I'm gonna roll it up, hang it up there so it's out of the silage so it can't rot or a mouse can't get in there and chew on it. So that's what I'm gonna do. So at least that's worked. So I better get back to the feeding, and I'll get back with you here later. Okay, everybody, I think I'm gonna finish up the video for today with talking about why we bought the New Holland TG210 and why we did not buy a mixer wagon, a vertical TMR mixer wagon. Yeah, and I guess, yeah, so that's what I'm going to talk about here to finish up the video. I'm not going to drag it out too long here. I know I don't have to talk about it, but I know I had people in the past say, why did we not, you know, wouldn't a mixer wagon be a better investment for the farm right now? And yeah, so anyways, the first thing I would like to talk about is why we did not buy a mixer wagon. I guess, for one thing, I have to finish loading up that feed wagon. This feeder wagon here, no, it is not. I know, I realize, yeah, it's not a TMR wagon, but it is a good, you know, it gets the job done. It does a pretty good job mixing up the feed ration for us. No, it is not perfect, but it does do a pretty good job. So that's why for now we're just going to keep that one. And the other reason is, well, the second reason why we did not get a TMR wagon is because anybody that has a TMR wagon, a vertical TMR wagon, and then has feedlots knows that they can be kind of difficult to get around in places where you don't have concrete. You don't have a concrete pad to feed on. Like for instance, this lot here. This lot would be fairly difficult with a vertical TMR wagon because they are heavier and they do have a tendency to like to slide around more than that feed wagon over there. They're just because they're higher up, their center of mass is different, everything like that. And another thing is we'd have to spend money, and here we're debating, you know, someday obviously we're going to have to, you know, decide what we're going to do. If we do get one, we're either going to have to pour a pad of concrete out here, or we're going to have to put in a fence line feeder out here, pour a pad of concrete here, and pad of concrete where we feed. And not only that, also we would have to pour, well, we need to, and we're either way we still have to do this someday, but we need to pour a pad of concrete out here in the cows feedlot where we feed them when they're not, you know, when they're not out on pasture. Well, they get fed here. Their main feed ration always gets fed here, but too we have to pour concrete in here. And you know, I know regardless someday we do have to pour concrete in here, whether we get a mixer wagon or not. It's getting rutted up in here, but if we got a mixer wagon tomorrow, we would have to have concrete out here, you know, the next day. And that's kind of part of the reason that we have to, you know, pouring concrete. I don't know what concrete is, $130, $40 a yard. And we probably would have to pour probably 2 or 3 truckloads worth of concrete, which that costs money. And so that brings us basically, you know, that's why right now we don't want to spend the money on a mixture wagon. And so that brings us back to why we bought the New Holland TG 210. The reason why we bought this is because it seems like on average every year now winter is lasting longer, it's starting sooner in the fall, and our window of opportunity for getting our crops in is narrowing every year. It's May 1st. We have not been in the field yet. And so what's happening, or you know, every year because of that, we're in a rush to get our crops in, get our small grain in, and to get our corn and soybeans planted and get our hay put up every year. It's a race against time. Time is of the essence here. And so, and the whole thing is too, is buying a mixer wagon right now is not feasible because the milk price, the organic milk price, that's what I'm talking about. The organic milk price is down. And there's a surplus of organic milk. And if we overproduce our milk, if we go over our monthly milk quota, we get docked $20 a hundredweight on our milk. So basically we maybe make, for example, let's do the math. If we go over our milk, let's say our monthly milk quota for our monthly milk quota or active base is 100,000 pounds. So if we go over that by 20,000 pounds, there's obviously there's 200 hundredweights in that. Take 200 hundredweights, hundredweight units of milk in 20,000 pounds. Take that times $20, and that comes out to be $4,000. So we would lose $4,000 per month if we went over, like say this, that's what it was for May. We would lose $4,000 in money. We would probably make maybe $6 to $4 a hundredweight on that milk. By the time you factor in the price of organic feed, the organic grain, your time putting it up, and just your time in general, you're probably making maybe $1 or $2 a hundredweight in that milk. So you're kind of working in vain to produce extra milk. So why would we do that? And getting back to the TG210, is the whole idea is if with that tractor, our limiting factor was with the other tractor, it was two-wheel drive, did not have mechanical front-wheel drive. So we wanted to get a bigger plow. Now we got a bigger plow, we got the bigger tractor to pull the bigger plow. So that means we can get, it basically means that we can get we could plow faster. If we could plow faster, we're going to get the corn in sooner. If we get the corn in sooner, the corn's going to get more heat units. It's going to yield more bushels. Not only that, but it's also going to save us drying costs when we have to dry our corn down. And if we get more bushels of corn, that's more bushels we can sell, and that's more bushels that we can sell and make money on. Because right now, there is no limit on the amount of grain you can produce. We can produce as much grain as we want, and we don't get punished for it. And that's the difference between that and the milk. I know there's a lot of dairy people that are probably thinking, well, that doesn't make sense. Well, if you're organic right now, it does make sense. We are not like on the conventional market where you can produce as much milk as you want. We're capped. We can't produce as much milk as we want. We get punished for it right now. And the other thing is too, if we could get our corn in sooner, we're going to get our beans in sooner. If we get our beans in sooner, it's going to get more heat units. And it's going to maybe catch more moisture, and we're going to get more bushels of beans. And more bushels of beans means more bushels to sell and have more money. And also, that also means we're going to get to our hay crop sooner. If we get to our hay crop sooner, we're going to get better quality hay, higher protein hay. Higher protein hay means the cows are going to milk more. And so if the cows milk more, well, that's the problem. We're still limited by how much our cows can milk, but we could save money by having to buy. We'll be able to cut back on our haylage, and we won't have to buy as much soybean meal. So if we don't have to buy as much soybean meal, then we'll have that savings right there, and we can control how much milk we can produce, by adjusting our feed ration. And that feed wagon there is still good enough to do that. And so that way, if we're saving all that money and making an extra money from the crops, then we could take that money and make those investments into like pouring concrete slabs in that one lot over there and in the cow's lot. And then we could eventually buy the mixer wagon. Hopefully within the next 5 years, we could accomplish those goals. That way, then hopefully within the next 5 years, the milk quota will come off for us, for the organic market, for us, So that's kind of the idea, so that hopefully in 5 years that will be off. Then that mixer wagon, we can make our cows milk like crazy, and because right now we just can't justify spending $30 or whatever it is, $40,000 or $50,000 on a mixer wagon, and still having to spend extra money on concrete, $20,000 maybe more on concrete, and it just, and we're capped in our milk production. So basically, like I say, that tractor there is it's going to make us money. It's going to pay for itself, and just by being able to get the crops in sooner. And it would be a totally different deal if we weren't on a milk quota for our milk. If we weren't limited to how much milk we produce each month. If we weren't limited, it would be a totally different deal. But since we're limited, it's just like I say down in my description. You have to think outside the box. And so we have to do things differently. And the grain, doing some cash cropping right now is the only thing that's saving us, that's helping us to keep the farm going, is by growing those crops. And we feel right now that was the best investment, is to help us get there and help us to be successful, so that way we're ready for when the organic milk market improves and they remove the quota, and we could milk like crazy then. But and maybe by that time, if we want to, we could even trade that thing off, in 5 years, trade that off, get something with more horsepower, if we want to, something newer, more horsepower, that's the option too, But right now, that's where we're going. I hope that makes sense to you guys. But I know I didn't have to talk about this. I know I'm probably creating more conversation about it, but it's just that just spending that money on that TMR wagon right now, I don't think that it's gonna really save us that much more money, because we know that it's not necessarily the mixer wagon. It's also the quality of your forages that you put up. By putting up good quality forages makes a big difference too, and so that's going to help us. I mean, if we can cut back on a soybean meal, I mean, what a lot of people don't realize is if you got really high protein hay, you don't have to feed a lot of hay. You don't have to feed the tonnage does not matter. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. It matters how high a protein your hay is. I mean, we've fed fifth cutting hay before that's had the protein was like 25% in the hay. I mean, it was really high. I mean, the relative feed value was over 200 on that hay. I mean, we didn't have to feed a lot of that stuff. And I mean, and the cows, they were scooting across the alleyway. I mean, when their manure gets runny, they're getting plenty of protein. We were only feeding maybe a quarter of a pound of soybean meal to the cows. So that's what I mean. So if in a year, we spend a lot of money on soybean meal. I mean, we spend on an average, if we average it out, it costs us about, I don't know what it is, like by the time you get shipping in there, it's about $900 for a tote of soybean meal. So take that, let's say we do one a month, just for easy figuring, times 12, you know, that's $10,800. But I would say we spend more than that. We probably spend at least $14,000 in soybean meal. If we could cut that down by $5,000-$6,000, that's $5,000-$6,000 more dollars in our pocket. And so that's the whole idea. If we could get our hay put up sooner, and that's the thing, we always get so late, and then our hay gets, we got the tonnage, but the quality is so low, and it's all because we were limited by how fast we get our field work done, and that's gonna help us. So anyways, I'm gonna stop yammering on about that, but I hope it makes sense to you guys. Yeah, I hope it makes sense. So that's our theory, or what we think is, you know, how we figured out how that tractor is going to pay for itself and make us more money in the process of doing it. Because right now, if you're in organic dairy, the dairying is not where the extra money is right now. It's in crop farming. It's raising organic crops. That's where you're going to get your extra money right now. And, you know, like I said, you got to do what you got to do to make it, you know. And we would prefer to get the extra money out of the cows, but we can't. You know, we can't. So, anyways, guys, I got to go finish loading that up, and I got to go eat something. I know people are probably wondering about my ear. It's doing a little better today. I still have a hard time chewing food. I've just been trying to eat soft foods and soup. Doesn't feel like it's as nourishing as eating. I'm a meat person. I love beef. Oh, I could eat hamburger every day. I love my meat, potatoes, and bacon. Yes, I love it. So, sorry if there's any vegetarians or vegans watching. I love meat. I grew up on it. I love it. But anyways, guys, I am going to go because I don't know, it's still cloudy out here. But so anyways, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions, drop a comment down there in the comment section below. Check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Organic Dairyman. And please, if you haven't, go right ahead, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't take very long at all. It's free, won't cost you a nickel or a dime. And please also share this video with a friend or family member. Please go back and check out all my other videos. I've got a lot of videos to watch from. I think it's like 360 videos that I have you can watch from. So yeah, I've got quite a collection of videos. So I got videos going all the way back to 2011. Yes, I've been on YouTube since 2011. That's when I signed up anyways. So yeah. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. And thank you so much to everybody that's taking the time to subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate each and every one of you. So, take care, and I'll catch you later. Hey guys, just wait one moment here. I got one more thing to show you before I go. Look at that. Yes, we got the auger extension. It's all done for the feed grinder. Yep, all we gotta do is just paint this part of it. And, yep. Put it on the, paint it, and put it on the feed grinder, or put it on the feed grinder and paint it. Then we could put the feed in the bin down there by the barn with the feed grinder. How about that? Isn't that nice? We're set to go now.